Welcome to America Who Died Today. Here, we remember the stars who left their mark on show business and culture. Don't forget to watch the videos till the end to catch all the interesting facts about their lives and careers, and leave your comments. We value your thoughts. Let's celebrate those who may be gone but will always remain in our hearts. Mary Louise Weiss, December 28, 1948 to January 19, 2024, was an American singer and interior designer, a woman whose voice and presence defined an era while leaving an indelible mark on pop music history. Best remembered as the lead singer of the Shangri-Las, Mary Weiss was at the forefront of the 1960s girl group revolution, lending her soulful, haunting vocals to hits that encapsulated teenage angst and love, most notably the legendary single, Leader of the Pack, which topped the Billboard Hot 100 in 1964. Though her career in music was fleeting, Mary's legacy endured across decades, making her a timeless icon in rock history. Early life. Growing up in Queens, Mary Louise Weiss was born on December 28, 1948, in the quiet neighborhood of Cambria Heights, Queens, New York City. She was the youngest of 3 children in a Jewish family that faced hardship early on. Her father, Harry Weiss, tragically passed away when she was just 6 weeks old, leaving her mother, Elizabeth, née Trubig, to raise Mary, her older sister Betty, and brother George alone. It was a life marked by poverty, where survival depended on welfare, occasional handouts, and her mother's resilience. Despite the family's struggles, there was always music in Mary's home. Her brother George, an Elvis Presley devotee, would play rock and roll records and jam with his friends, while Mary eagerly absorbed the sounds. She grew up with a love for music, listening to the Everly Brothers, Roy Orbison, and the emerging rock scene. She also developed her voice early, singing in school choirs and small theatrical productions. At just 14, Mary attended her first Everly Brothers concert at Freedomland USA, a theme park in the Bronx. That concert ignited something in her, a spark that hinted at the rock and roll star she would soon become. The rise of the Shangri-Las. While attending high school, Mary and her older sister Betty befriended Mary Ann and Margie Ganser, twins from the neighborhood. The 4 teenagers shared a love for music, and in 1963, they decided to form a group, naming themselves after a local restaurant, the Shangri-Las. At first, they were just another group of kids singing at school dances and neighborhood events, but their talent quickly caught the attention of local producer Artie Ripp. He gave them their first shot in the studio, but their initial single, Simon Says, released that same year, failed to gain traction. Their big break came in 1964 when the girls signed with Red Bird Records, a label that would soon be associated with some of the most iconic pop hits of the 1960s. Under the mentorship of producer George "Shadow" Morton, a master of dramatic and atmospheric production, the Shangri-Las recorded a string of songs that would capture the imaginations of young listeners. Their first hit, Remember, Walking in the Sand, was a powerful, moody ballad that showcased Mary's deep, resonant voice, a voice that carried both innocence and heartbreak. Later that year, the Shangri-Las released the song that would define their careers, Leader of the Pack. The song was a perfect storm of teen drama, telling the tragic story of forbidden love and loss. With roaring motorcycle sound effects and Weiss's evocative delivery, Leader of the Pack became a cultural phenomenon, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and solidifying the group's place in music history. The Shangri-Las weren't just another girl group, they were different. While other groups of the era sang sweet harmonies in pastel dresses, the Shangri-Las had an edge. They often wore black leather jackets, their look tougher and more rebellious, mirroring the gritty themes of their songs. They sang about heartbreak, death, and teenage rebellion with an intensity that set them apart, earning them legions of fans, including the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, for whom they opened at concerts. The fate of the spotlight. The success of the Shangri-Las was meteoric, but like many stars of their time, it didn't last long. By 1968, after several years of touring and recording, the group disbanded. The music industry was shifting, and legal disputes with their record label added to their struggles. Weiss, who had been thrust into fame as a teenager, was burned out. Looking for a change, she left New York for San Francisco, where she tried to carve out a different life for herself. during this time, she distanced herself from music completely. Mary married Ed Ryan and focused on building a new career outside the spotlight. She took a job as a purchasing agent for an architectural firm and eventually transitioned into commercial interior design. Her work in design was meticulous and creative, and she found fulfillment in a life far removed from the chaos of the music industry. An unexpected return to music. Despite stepping away from the stage, Mary Weiss never stopped being a figure of fascination for music lovers. Her voice and the Shangri-Las songs continued to influence generations of artists, from punk rockers to alternative musicians. In the 1970s and 1980s, sporadic attempts were made to reunite the group, including an ill-fated deal with Sire Records, but nothing came to fruition. It wasn't until 2005 that Weiss, now in her late 50s, returned to the music scene. Persuaded by friends and admirers, she agreed to record a solo album. For someone who hadn't sung in decades, not even along to the car radio, as she admitted, the idea was daunting. But with Norton Records backing her and the band Raining Sound providing a raw, rock and roll edge, Weiss released Dangerous Game in 2007. The album was a revelation, receiving critical acclaim for its unfiltered, powerful sound. It was a triumphant return for a woman who had long been absent from the public eye, proving that her voice still carried the same magic that had once made her a star. A life of quiet resilience. After her brief re-emergence in music, Weiss settled into a quieter life. She continued her work in commercial design and managed various furniture dealerships. Her career as an interior designer was far from a fallback. She excelled in the field, working on large-scale projects and becoming a respected figure in her profession. By the 2000s, she was consulting for businesses in New York, a testament to her work ethic and determination to reinvent herself. Mary's personal life was as private as her professional life was busy. She and her husband, Ed Ryan, shared a long and steady marriage, weathering life's ups and downs together. Her sister Betty remained a close companion over the years, a reminder of the bond that had carried them through their Shangri-Las days and beyond. Legacy in death. Mary Weiss passed away on January 19, 2024, at the age of 75, in her home in Palm Springs, California, following a battle with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Her death marked the end of an era, leaving her sister Betty as the sole surviving member of the Shangri-Las. Though Mary's time in the spotlight was brief, her impact was profound. The Shangri-Las songs, with their mix of melodrama and grit, helped define the sound of the 1960s and inspired countless musicians across genres. In 2019, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame honored their hit, Leader of the Pack, in its singles category, a fitting tribute to a song and group that captured the spirit of a generation. Mary Louise Weiss was more than a singer, she was a storyteller whose voice brought teenage dreams and heartbreaks to life. She was a survivor, a woman who navigated the challenges of fame, loss, and reinvention with grace. From the streets of Queens to the stages of rock history, Mary Weiss will always be remembered as a leader of the pack. Alec Musser, April 11, 1973 to January 12, 2024, was an American actor and fitness model, best known for his appearances on I Wanna Be a Soap Star and All My Children. His career spanned reality television, acting, and international modeling, leaving a multifaceted legacy in the entertainment industry. Born Alexander Barrett Musser, he grew up on the East Coast in New Jersey and Connecticut, where he attended the Westminster School, a private boarding school known for its rigorous academics and strong athletics programs. After completing high school, he moved to San Diego to attend the University of San Diego, where he pursued his undergraduate education. Musser's early life was marked by a love of physical activity and adventure, interests that later shaped both his career and personal pursuits. After graduating from college, Musser relocated to California, where he initially worked as a ski patrolman and lifeguard. These roles highlighted his athleticism and outdoorsy nature, but a chance encounter with a talent agent would alter the course of his life. The agent submitted Musser's photos to Bruce Weber, a renowned fashion photographer who was casting for an Abercrombie & Fitch campaign. This opportunity led Musser to Miami, where he began a successful modeling career. His striking looks and athletic build quickly garnered attention, and he became a prominent figure in the fashion world. Soon, his image graced Abercrombie & Fitch shopping bags and billboards, propelling him to greater visibility. Musser's modeling career took him around the globe, with assignments in Paris, Greece, South Africa, Australia, and Hawaii. He modeled for high-profile clients such as Gianfranco Ferré, GQ, Cosmopolitan, Men's Health, Speedo, Rips Underwear, and Target. Through these experiences, Musser gained a reputation as a versatile and charismatic model, adept at both editorial and commercial work. Despite his success in the fashion industry, he yearned for new challenges and decided to explore opportunities in acting. In 2005, Musser participated in the reality TV competition I Wanna Be a Soap Star, which sought to discover new talent for daytime television. He emerged as the winner of the show's third season, earning a contract role on the popular soap opera All My Children. Musser was cast as Del Henry, a character previously portrayed by Windsor Harmon. Initially, his role was intended to last for only 13 weeks, but head writer Megan McTavish extended his contract, recognizing his talent and appeal. Musser's time on All My Children from 2005 to 2007 introduced him to a broader audience and allowed him to develop his skills as an actor. During this period, Musser continued to work in modeling, maintaining his status as a sought-after talent. He was represented by Silver Model Management in New York City and Noose Model Management in Los Angeles. His professional versatility enabled him to balance acting and modeling, expanding his portfolio across different media. Following his departure from All My Children, Musser pursued additional acting roles, including guest appearances on television shows. In 2009, he appeared as a plumber on the sitcom Rita Rocks, and in 2012, he played Friedrich, a masseur, in an episode of Desperate Housewives titled Watch While I Revise the World. He also made a foray into film, with small roles in Road to the Altar and the comedy Grown Ups, where he played a minor character at a water park. These projects, while not as high-profile as his soap opera work, demonstrated his willingness to explore diverse opportunities in the entertainment industry. Despite his professional achievements, Musser faced personal challenges throughout his life. His older brother, John, revealed that their father's suicide during their teenage years left a deep emotional impact on Alec, shaping much of his inner struggles. Alec's own life ended tragically on January 12, 2024, when he died by suicide at his home in Del Mar, California. He was 50 years old. The method of his death, a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the chest, underscored the weight of his lifelong emotional burden. His passing drew attention to the importance of mental health support, particularly for those navigating the pressures of public life and unresolved trauma. Musser's death prompted an outpouring of tributes from fans, colleagues, and friends, who remembered him as a talented actor, a dedicated professional, and a kind-hearted individual. His story also served as a stark reminder of the enduring effects of childhood trauma and the need for open conversations about mental health. Throughout his career, Alec Musser was admired for his versatility, transitioning seamlessly between modeling, reality television, and acting. His success as a model introduced him to international audiences, while his stint on All My Children allowed him to connect with fans on a deeper level. Although his life was tragically cut short, Musser's contributions to the entertainment world and his advocacy for physical fitness remain an enduring part of his legacy. Nicholas David Pryor, born on January 28, 1935, in Baltimore, Maryland, was an American character actor with a career spanning nearly 7 decades. He was best known for his roles in television, film, and stage productions, with his deep, versatile presence making him a frequent choice for supporting roles in various productions. His legacy includes notable performances in films such as Risky Business, 1983, Airplane, 1980, Less Than Zero, 1987, and Collateral Damage, 2002, as well as prominent roles on television series like Beverly Hills, 90210 and General Hospital. Born Nicholas David Probst, Pryor was raised in Baltimore by his parents Dorothy, née Driscoll, and J. Stanley Probst, a pharmaceutical manufacturer. From an early age, he was drawn to the arts, and after attending the prestigious University of Maryland, Pryor set his sights on acting. He began his professional career in the theater, honing his craft before making the transition to television and film. Pryor's earliest film roles included parts in films like The Happy Hooker, 1975, and Smile, 1975, both comedies where he showcased his sharp timing and ability to portray quirky, relatable characters. His first big break came in 1976 with his portrayal of the nervous college professor Samuel Graves in the film The Gumball Rally, which cemented his reputation as a versatile supporting actor. Pryor's television career began in the early 1960s, and one of his first significant roles was in the soap opera Another World, 1964, where he played Tom Baxter. Although his character was killed off after 6 months, the role marked his first appearance in front of a larger television audience. This was followed by his role in the 1973 soap opera The Edge of Night, where he portrayed P.I. Joel Gantry. His ability to transition between different genres, from soap operas to primetime television and TV movies, further demonstrated his range. A standout television role for Pryor came in 1994 when he was cast as a Milton Arnold, the Chancellor of California University, in the iconic series Beverly Hills, 90210. In this role, he portrayed a widower and father to Claire Arnold, Kathleen Robertson, and his appearances were central to several of the show's key storylines from 1994 to 1997. His character became one of the more memorable ones on the series, showcasing his skill in playing authority figures with depth and humanity. In addition to his role on Beverly Hills, 90210, Pryor's extensive television work included guest spots on shows like The Addams Chronicles, 1976, Washington, Behind Closed Doors, 1977, and Gideon's Trumpet, 1980. He also appeared on Knight Rider, 1985, where he played Vince in the episode Many Happy Returns. Pryor's film career, while primarily marked by supporting roles, was equally impressive. His role in the cult comedy Airplane, 1980, as Mr. Jim Hammond, a member of the dysfunctional crew, was a standout. The film's success helped Pryor gain more visibility, and he continued to take roles that showcased his comedic and dramatic talents. One of his most significant film roles was in Risky Business, 1983, where he portrayed Mr. Goodson, the father of Tom Cruise's character, Joel Goodson. The film, which became a defining moment in Cruise's career, also established Pryor as a reliable supporting actor. Pryor's portrayal of a father who is both caring and slightly out of touch with his son's rebellious antics stood in contrast to Cruise's breakout performance, but Pryor's role helped anchor the emotional grounding of the film. In 1987, Pryor appeared in Less Than Zero, playing Benjamin Wells, the estranged father of Robert Downey Jr.'s character, Julian Wells. The film, based on the novel by Bret Easton Ellis, was a poignant portrayal of the excesses and struggles of wealthy youth, and Pryor's role added gravitas to the film's exploration of familial relationships and personal despair. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Pryor continued to build a diverse filmography. He appeared in The Falcon and the Snowman, 1985, Pacific Heights, 1990, Executive Decision, 1996, and The Chamber, 1996, often portraying characters in positions of power or authority, such as a hotel front office manager in Pacific Heights and a Secretary of State in Executive Decision. His role as a judge in The Chamber was another example of his skill in portraying figures of authority with subtle vulnerability. In Collateral Damage, 2002, Pryor played Senator Delic, a character that fit within the film's political thriller narrative. The film starred Arnold Schwarzenegger as a firefighter seeking vengeance for the death of his family in a terrorist bombing. Although Pryor's screen time was relatively brief, his presence added weight to the film's political undertones. In the later years of his career, Pryor appeared in a variety of television series and films, including Murder Between Friends, 1994, Hail Caesar, 1994, and The Hunger Games, Mockingjay, Part 1, 2014, where he played a male patient in a minor but memorable role. He also appeared in films such as The List, 2007, The Four Children of Tander Welch, 2008, and A Short History of Decay, 2014. Pryor's television appearances in the 2000s included notable roles in The Outsider, 2020, and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, 2021, where he portrayed Oznik in 2 episodes. His final screen appearances were in Halloween Kills, 2021, where he played a coroner, and Dr. Sleep, 2019, a sequel to Stephen King's The Shining. Pryor's personal life was relatively private, though it was known that he married actress Christine Belford in July 1993. He had a daughter, Stacey Pryor, from a previous marriage. In his final years, Pryor was living in Wilmington, North Carolina, where he passed away on October 7, 2024, at the age of 89 due to cancer. Nicholas Pryor's career spanned decades and left an indelible mark on American television and film. Known for his ability to play a wide array of characters, from comedic roles to dramatic parts in thrillers and soap operas, he became a beloved character actor whose work continues to be appreciated by audiences. Whether portraying a supportive father, a troubled businessman, or an authoritative figure, Pryor's depth and versatility made him a standout in every project he was part of. In his final years, Pryor expressed gratitude for the opportunity to be a working actor for nearly 70 years, a testament to his enduring passion for his craft. His contributions to the entertainment industry, particularly his work in television and film, will continue to resonate with fans and fellow actors alike, securing his place as one of the most respected character actors of his generation. Cissy Houston, born Emily Drinkard on September 30, 1933, in Newark, New Jersey, is an iconic American gospel and soul singer, best known as the mother of legendary singer Whitney Houston. A towering figure in the world of music, Cissy's own career as a solo artist, as well as her extensive work as a backup vocalist and collaborator with some of the biggest names in the music industry, has earned her widespread recognition and respect. Her journey to stardom is one that is deeply intertwined with the evolution of American music, spanning gospel, soul, R&B, and pop genres. Cissy Houston was born into a musical family. Her mother, Delia, was a gospel singer, and her father, who was also musically inclined, was an entrepreneur. Raised in the church, Cissy was exposed to gospel music at an early age, and she quickly became a talented vocalist. The Drinkard family had deep roots in the gospel music community, and it wasn't long before Cissy became a member of the Drinkard Singers, a gospel group that was pivotal in shaping her vocal style and passion for music. Her natural talent caught the attention of gospel music producer, Roberta Martin, and by the early 1950s, Cissy began her professional career as a backup singer for some of the biggest names in gospel music. As a young woman, she moved to New York City, where she expanded her reach into the secular music world, performing with jazz and pop artists as well. Cissy's voice was described as powerful and emotive, and this would prove to be her signature throughout her career. Her work as a backup singer began to garner recognition, and soon she was called upon to lend her vocals to a wide array of prominent artists and projects. By the 1960s, Cissy Houston's career as a background singer had gained serious momentum. She became one of the most sought-after backup vocalists in the music industry. One of her most significant collaborations was with the legendary producer and songwriter, Burt Bacharach. Cissy became one of the regular background vocalists for Bacharach's hit-making productions, contributing to songs by artists such as Dionne Warwick, whose own background vocal arrangements often included Cissy's powerful voice. At this time, Cissy Houston was also involved in numerous other studio sessions, working with famous names like Aretha Franklin, Elvis Presley, and Wilson Pickett. Her rich, soulful voice became a fixture in the soundtracks of 1960s and 1970s pop and R&B music. Cissy's contributions to these recordings played a crucial role in shaping the era's sound, and her versatility made her an indispensable member of various studio sessions. It was clear that Cissy had the range and style to make a name for herself beyond being a backup singer. In the 1970s, Cissy Houston began to shift her focus to a solo career. She signed with the RCA Records label and released her debut album, Cissy Houston, in 1970. The album received moderate success, featuring a blend of gospel, soul, and pop influences. The standout track from the album was her cover of Be My Baby, originally by the Ronettes, which showcased her powerful vocal delivery and her ability to blend various genres seamlessly. Though the album did not produce massive commercial success, Cissy's voice began to gain recognition, and she continued to release music throughout the 1970s and into the 1980s. During this period, she also expanded her reach, recording songs that reflected both her gospel roots and her burgeoning soul and pop influence. One of the defining moments in Cissy Houston's solo career came in 1977 with the release of her album I'm Your Friend. The album featured a mix of soul and pop music, with Cissy delivering her signature vocals on every track. It was during this time that she also gained a reputation as a mentor and guide for younger artists, including her daughter, Whitney Houston, who would later become one of the most successful and influential pop stars of all time. Cissy Houston's impact on the music industry extended far beyond her own performances and recordings. She was also a major influence on her daughter Whitney Houston, who was born in 1963. From an early age, Whitney showed an exceptional talent for singing, and Cissy played a significant role in nurturing her daughter's musical abilities. Cissy Houston's gospel and soul influences shaped Whitney's vocal technique, and she often guided her daughter through the challenges of the music industry. As a mother, Cissy was fiercely protective of Whitney and played a vital role in ensuring that her daughter's career was built on a foundation of strong vocal training and spiritual integrity. Whitney would later go on to become a global icon, known for her powerful voice and unmatched vocal range. Cissy Houston, who had already established herself as a respected artist in her own right, continued to work as a backup singer and solo artist during Whitney's rise to fame. However, Cissy remained supportive of her daughter's career and often took a behind-the-scenes role, stepping back to allow Whitney to shine. In the 1980s, as Whitney's career took off, Cissy also found herself at the center of the public's attention due to her connection with her daughter. Despite the immense pressure that came with being the mother of one of the most successful pop stars in history, Cissy remained a steady force in Whitney's life and career. Though Cissy Houston's solo career never reached the same commercial heights as Whitney's, she continued to enjoy success as both a solo artist and a backup singer. In 1993, Cissy released Face to Face, an album that was well received by fans of gospel and soul music. The album showcased her gospel roots, as well as her ability to blend contemporary sounds into her work. Despite facing health challenges in the later years of her career, Cissy continued to tour and perform, often appearing at gospel and R&B events, where her powerful voice was always met with admiration. Beyond her own career, Cissy Houston's legacy is deeply intertwined with the rise of Whitney Houston, whose career tragically came to an end in 2012. Following Whitney's death, Cissy was left to grapple with the profound loss of her daughter. In the years following, she continued to honor Whitney's memory and legacy, speaking publicly about their relationship and the challenges that they both faced in the music industry. Cissy's contributions to the world of music are vast and immeasurable. As a backup vocalist, she was a vital part of the soundtracks to countless iconic recordings in the 1960s and 1970s. As a solo artist, she made significant strides in blending gospel, soul, and pop music. And as a mother, she was instrumental in shaping the career of Whitney Houston, who would go on to become one of the best-selling music artists of all time. In addition to her work as a performer, Cissy Houston is remembered as a mentor to countless aspiring vocalists and as a woman of deep faith and conviction. Her music, which spans decades of American popular music, continues to influence artists in the gospel, soul, and R&B genres. Cissy Houston's influence on the music world is immeasurable. She has left an indelible mark on the legacy of gospel and soul music, and her own contributions as a solo artist and as a backup singer are remembered fondly by fans and musicians alike. Her role in the development of Whitney Houston's career remains one of the most important elements of her legacy, and she will forever be remembered as a pioneer in American music. Today, Cissy Houston's impact on the music world remains strong. Though she has not released as much new music in recent years, her influence continues to be felt in the works of young artists who look up to her as a vocal role model. Her enduring legacy as one of the most important and influential voices in American music will continue to inspire for generations to come. John Lell Jr., born on November 6, 1928, in Williamstown, Vermont, was an American film and television actor best known for his role as Dr. Peter Guthrie in the classic American soap opera Dark Shadows. Over the course of his career, Lell built a reputation for his steady presence in both television and film, particularly in roles that allowed him to explore the eerie and mysterious aspects of storytelling, making him a notable figure in mid-20th century American television. Lascelles' career in entertainment began in the 1960s, with his first television appearance in the anthology series Armstrong's Circle Theatre. In the same year, he also appeared in Hong Kong Alcoa Presents, One Step Beyond, two programs that were popular for their dramatic and suspenseful narratives. One of his early memorable roles was portraying John Wilkes Booth in an episode of the iconic anthology series The Twilight Zone titled Back There. This role highlighted his ability to tackle complex historical figures, setting the stage for his future work in both drama and suspense genres. A key milestone in Lascelles' career came with his portrayal of Dr. Peter Guthrie, a parapsychologist in the supernatural soap opera Dark Shadows, which aired from 1966 to 1971. Dark Shadows was a cult favorite that became known for its mix of gothic horror and melodrama, and Lascelles' portrayal of the inquisitive and intelligent Dr. Guthrie contributed to the show's unique blend of mystery and supernatural intrigue. As a key character, Lascelles played a prominent role in the eerie and supernatural events that unfolded on the show, cementing his legacy as part of a significant cultural moment in television history. In addition to his role in Dark Shadows, Lascelles appeared in a wide array of television shows throughout the 1960s and 1970s. He had recurring roles in several popular television series, including playing Dr. Robbins in Lassie and Benjamin Wedlock in the drama Dan August. He also made guest appearances in several other well-known shows of the era, such as Gunsmoke, Wagon Train, Rawhide, Tales of Wells Fargo, and The Fugitive. His work across these various series showcased his adaptability and ability to perform in diverse genres, from westerns to legal dramas to crime thrillers. Lascelles' film career, while more limited than his television work, still featured several notable roles. In 1969, he appeared in Topaz, a Cold War-era thriller directed by Alfred Hitchcock, where he played an uncredited role as a State Department official. He followed this with roles in Suppose They Gave a War and Nobody Came, 1970, Helen Keller and Her Teacher, 1970, and The Organization, 1971. His performances ranged from dramatic roles, such as Dr. Hillary in Suppose They Gave a War and Nobody Came, to more action-oriented roles like Zach Mills in The Organization. Another significant role was in the 1971 film Honky, where he portrayed Archer Devine, further demonstrating his versatility as an actor. Lascelles also made notable appearances in films with darker and more adventurous themes. In 1972, he starred in Death Master, a film about vampires, where he played Sergeant Kelly, adding to his reputation for portraying characters involved in suspenseful and mysterious situations. Though Lascelles' film career didn't reach the same heights as his television work, these roles helped establish him as a dependable actor in both genre films and television dramas. His television career continued into the 1980s and 1990s, with his last known television appearance being in the soap opera Falcon Crest, where he appeared in a guest role. Despite the changing landscape of television and film, Lascelles maintained a consistent presence in the entertainment world, often appearing in guest spots or recurring roles in various dramas and thrillers. Lascelles' life was marked by a long-lasting commitment to his craft, and he was a respected figure among his peers in the acting community. While he did not achieve the same level of fame as some of his contemporaries, his contributions to television and film were significant, and his work remains appreciated by fans of classic television and genre entertainment. John Lascelles passed away on October 4, 2024, at the age of 95, leaving behind a legacy of performances in both film and television that spanned more than 6 decades. His portrayal of Dr. Peter Guthrie in Dark Shadows remains one of his most memorable roles, cementing him as an integral part of the show's success and its lasting impact on popular culture. Lascelles' death marked the end of an era for fans of classic television and genre fiction, but his performances continue to live on through the work he left behind. Richard Gere is a celebrated American actor, producer, and humanitarian whose career has spanned decades, earning him a reputation as one of Hollywood's most enduring and versatile stars. Born on August 31, 1949, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Gere became a household name through his work in films that combined his striking looks, commanding screen presence, and emotional depth. Beyond acting, he is known for his passionate activism on human rights and social justice issues, particularly for his work advocating for Tibet and other humanitarian causes. Early life and education. Richard Tiffany Gere was born into a working-class family. His father, Homer George Gere, was an insurance agent, and his mother, Doris Ann, was a homemaker. Gere was the second of 5 children and grew up in Syracuse, New York. From a young age, he displayed a keen interest in music and the arts, excelling at playing the trumpet and showing an aptitude for gymnastics. After graduating high school in 1967, Gere attended the University of Massachusetts Amherst on a gymnastics scholarship, where he initially majored in philosophy. However, he left college before completing his degree to pursue a career in acting, a decision that would ultimately shape his life. Early career in theater. Gere's first foray into professional acting came through theater. In the early 1970s, he performed in regional productions and off-Broadway plays, honing his craft and earning recognition for his talent. His breakthrough came in 1973 when he was cast in the lead role of Danny Zuko in the London production of the musical Grease. Gere's performance demonstrated his charisma and stage presence, setting the stage for his transition into film. Rise to stardom. Gere's film career began in earnest with small roles in movies such as Looking for Mr. Goodbar, 1977, where he played a troubled drifter. However, it was his performance in Days of Heaven, 1978, directed by Terrence Malick, that brought him critical acclaim. The film, known for its stunning cinematography and poetic storytelling, showcased Gere's ability to convey complex emotions with minimal dialogue, earning him recognition as a serious actor. His breakout role came in 1980 with American Gigolo, a film that cemented his status as a Hollywood leading man and a sex symbol. Directed by Paul Schrader, the film featured Gere as Julian Kay, a high-end escort navigating the complexities of love, power, and betrayal. His suave, stylish performance captured the zeitgeist of the era and established him as a cultural icon. In 1982, Gere further solidified his stardom with An Officer and a Gentleman. Playing Zach Mayo, a troubled naval officer candidate, Gere delivered a performance that was both rugged and vulnerable. The film, co-starring Deborah Winger, was a massive commercial success and featured one of the most iconic romantic scenes in cinema history, where Gere's character sweeps Winger's character off her feet. The role earned him a Golden Globe nomination and remains one of his most beloved performances. Career highlights and iconic roles. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Gere continued to showcase his versatility, taking on a variety of roles that ranged from romantic leads to morally complex characters. One of his most iconic films is Pretty Woman, 1990, in which he starred opposite Julia Roberts. The romantic comedy, directed by Gary Marshall, became a global phenomenon and one of the highest-grossing films of its time. Gere's portrayal of Edward Lewis, a wealthy businessman who falls in love with a spirited sex worker, showcased his charm and chemistry with Roberts, making the film a classic. Gere's collaboration with Julia Roberts was so well received that they reunited for Runaway Bride, 1999, another romantic comedy that delighted audiences. In both films, Gere demonstrated his ability to balance humor, romance, and dramatic depth, cementing his status as a romantic lead. In addition to romantic films, Gere took on challenging dramatic roles. In Primal Fear, 1996, he played a defense attorney representing a young altar boy accused of murder, a role that allowed him to explore moral ambiguity and legal drama. The film was a critical and commercial success, and Gere's performance was praised for its intensity and complexity. Another standout performance came in Chicago, 2002, a musical film adaptation in which Gere played Billy Flynn, a charismatic lawyer. His portrayal earned him a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. Gere's ability to sing and dance added another dimension to his repertoire, proving his talent extended beyond traditional acting, activism and humanitarian work. While Gere's film career has been extraordinary, his off-screen work as a humanitarian and activist is equally remarkable. A devout Buddhist, Gere became deeply involved in advocating for Tibetan independence after meeting the Dalai Lama in the 1980s. He co-founded the Tibet House US, a non-profit organization dedicated to preserving Tibetan culture, and the Gere Foundation, which supports human rights, education, and health initiatives worldwide. Gere has frequently used his platform to speak out on global issues, including human rights violations in Tibet and the plight of refugees. His activism has occasionally brought controversy, such as when he was banned from the Academy Awards in 1993 after making a speech about China's policies toward Tibet. Nevertheless, Gere remained steadfast in his commitment to humanitarian causes. In addition to his work for Tibet, Gere has been involved in efforts to combat homelessness and HIV/AIDS. He has supported numerous charities and organizations, including Habitat for Humanity and Amnesty International. His dedication to philanthropy has earned him numerous accolades, including the Marian Anderson Award for Humanitarian Work. Later career and recognition. In recent years, Gere has taken on more introspective and independent film projects, often focusing on characters grappling with moral dilemmas or personal crises. Films such as Arbitrage, 2012, in which he played a morally compromised hedge fund manager, and Norman, The Moderate Rise and Tragic Fall of a New York Fixer, 2016, received critical acclaim for their nuanced portrayals. Despite stepping back from mainstream Hollywood blockbusters, Gere's work has remained relevant and respected. His performances continue to demonstrate his ability to bring depth and humanity to his characters, and his status as a Hollywood legend remains intact. Personal life. Gere's personal life has often attracted media attention. He was married to supermodel Cindy Crawford from 1991 to 1995, a high-profile relationship that garnered significant public interest. In 2002, he married actress and model Carrie Lowell, with whom he has a son, Homer. The couple divorced in 2016. Gere later married Spanish publicist Alejandra Silva in 2018, and the couple has 2 children together. Gere's commitment to Buddhism and meditation has been a central aspect of his life. He often credits his spiritual practice with helping him maintain balance and perspective amid the pressures of Hollywood and activism. Legacy. Richard Gere's legacy is multifaceted, encompassing his contributions to cinema, his dedication to humanitarian causes, and his advocacy for social justice. His iconic roles in films like Pretty Woman and An Officer and a Gentleman have left an indelible mark on popular culture, while his more complex performances in films like Primal Fear and Arbitrage showcase his range as an actor. Beyond his artistic achievements, Gere's tireless efforts to promote human rights and compassion have made him a role model and an inspiration to many. His work reminds us that fame can be a powerful tool for creating positive change in the world. As an actor, activist, and philanthropist, Richard Gere continues to embody the ideals of empathy, resilience, and artistic excellence. His career serves as a testament to the enduring power of storytelling and the importance of using one's platform to make a difference. Thank you for watching this video. May the memory of these outstanding people continue to inspire us all. We cannot change the course of time, but we can keep in mind their contribution and significance. If this video has affected you or you want to know more, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave a comment. Let's continue to share their stories and keep the memory of them together. See you soon, and remember that those we love never leave without a trace.